Hello, you guys, and welcome to another episode of my new podcast, Things Could Be Worse. I'm baileydedrick, and I basically created this podcast for my own mental health, pretty much. I'm kind of treating it like a weekly therapy session. I should probably consider going to actual therapy again because it's been a few years and I'm probably in desperate need. But right now, this is what we're working with. These are my therapy sessions for me to talk, to get out my feelings and my thoughts, to rant, to tell stories, to give my advice. You know the drill. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking all things confidence, how to be secure with yourself, how to really believe in yourself, how to be able to walk into a room without feeling like all eyes are on you in like a negative way, how to feel like you really belong places. I haven't really given a whole lot of insight on how I kind of want to set up these podcast episodes that I'm doing, but my general idea is that a lot of my podcasts are going to be like centered around advice and like telling personal stories on how I have overcome like the challenges in my life. And I kind of want to start off most of these episodes in a way that shows off how I've changed over the years and how I've gotten to the point where I'm at now. So for this particular episode, I kind of want to dive into how I was as a child and how elementary school and middle school and high school all was for me in regards to confidence and how secure I was with myself. And then we can talk about where I'm at now and the steps that I took to become the confident person that I am now. Obviously, I'm not like the most confident person ever. Everybody struggles with confidence, but I feel like I've gotten so much better even just over the last couple of years in regards to just like being okay with the person that I'm like the person that I am. So yeah, let's get into it. So as a child, I haven't really heard too many stories about myself as a child. I don't know why my parents don't talk about it more. Maybe I was the literal devil's spawn and they try to repress those memories or something. I'm not sure. But no, I've heard a few stories, and kind of what I've gathered from that is that I was a pretty like shy child, but I also had like a very big personality around people that I was close to. So what I mean by that is like when strangers were coming over and like my mom's friends were like over and we went to lunch and stuff like that when I was little, I was pretty shy and reserved. But then around like my actual like immediate family, I was crazy. I was a little crazy child. And I would honestly say that not much has changed between me being a little toddler baby child and then me now 18 years old. I would still kind of consider myself a pretty shy person when it comes to strangers and meeting new people and talking to new people. But then amongst the people that I'm very close with, I am such an extrovert. I'm so talkative. I'm so outgoing. I love joking around. I love being the center of attention, to be honest. But with that being said, I really haven't always been that way. I have had a multitude of personality changes over the years, and I kind of want to explain all of that. In elementary school, you guys, I was low-key a mean girl, and I think about this all the time, and I just like feel so sorry. Like if you went to my middle school and you're watching this now and I was a bitch to you, I'm so sorry. I don't know what was going on. I don't know what I was reflecting or deflecting. I don't know what was going on with me, but Shorty just needed a hug and a little heart to heart about how to be nice to people. I was just like a little raging bitch. But anyways, to be honest, I'm not really sure where I got that from because I have always been surrounded by like the most amazing people my entire life. Like my immediate family and like my extended family too. Like they are made up of such selfless, like caring, just like amazing people. Like my mother is the most genuine person I have ever met in my whole life. She literally does not have a negative bone in her body. I literally aspire to be her. Like she is so sweet. She would do anything for anybody. And then my brother, he is literally the sweetest guy I've ever met. Like I have never seen him do any harm to anybody on purpose. And like same with my dad, like everybody is so loving and sweet. And I was a raging in elementary school, and I don't know why. I think about that a lot, and I'm very sorry if I affected you in elementary school. I do think part of the reason I was like that is because of the very toxic friend group that I had in elementary school, and I'm talking like 4th, 5th, 6th grade. I'm not talking like 2nd grade. Like I wasn't being like petty and toxic then, but like the end of elementary school is kind of what I'm referring to when I say that I was like a mean girl. But my friends and I were constantly like fighting and arguing, and it was pretty much like a group of three of us. And it's so funny because these two girls, like we kind of took a few years apart, but we are like such good friends again, and I love them both, and we have not had any issues in years. But regardless, these three girls, it was our little friend group of three, and it was always a competition. We were always fighting, we were always arguing. You know, friend groups of three, they say they never work. It was no different for us in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. Each year, it was like a different set of two were closer. So in 4th grade, me and my one friend were closer, and then in 5th grade, me and the other friend were closer, and then in 6th grade, those two friends were close, and I was kind of excluded from the friend group a little bit. I kind of feel like I was just in like constant fight or flight mode, and that's maybe why I was so mean, because I kept feeling like I had to fight to be included, and I was just constantly upset that I was getting left out, and it was just like a really difficult time for me. And the way that I coped with that was being mean and like trying to argue and like get my way, and it just wasn't the right way to go about things at all. And I have completely done a 180 from there. Like I am nothing like that now, and I hate confrontation, and I hate arguing, and I hate fighting with people, and you could not pay me to start an argument with somebody like over some dumb shit like that. But anyways, I think that with that whole elementary school friend group thing, I kind of just was a yes man, and I went along with whatever my friends wanted to do because I just wanted to be included. You know, I just wanted to be cool. I just wanted to fit in. So even back in elementary school, I was kind of just like going with the flow, doing what everybody else was doing, wearing outfits that were deemed as like cute and popular and trendy. And that was so like, that breaks my heart like a little bit. Like I was so young, and this is so common now. Like oh my God, this is so sad. One of my best friends, she has a little sister, and I think she's like 7 years old, and she like already makes comments about like her body and like compares, and it's so sad. And like I think it's because she's on like social media and stuff, and like I do not think any 7-year-old should be on social media, but that just breaks my heart. Like you are so little and you're already like self-conscious. I don't know, I don't want to get into that, and like I don't want to like talk too much about it because it's not my life. But yeah, I just feel like I kind of just went along with what everybody was doing because I wanted to be cool. And I feel like that's something a lot of people can relate to, and probably something that a lot of you guys are still struggling with, because I mean, I still struggle with that. Hell, like I will 100% buy the cute, trendy leather pants from Addicted. You know what I mean? Moving into middle school, I got some new friends, which was very much needed because I desperately needed to take a break from the girls that I was friends with in elementary school, and they needed a break from me. Like I am totally not playing the victim here. I was just as bad as they were, if not worse. So I'm so glad that we were able to take that little friendship break in middle school so that we can be friends again. And I literally love both of them to death. Like I would do anything for them. In middle school, I got some new friends, and I actually felt like I belonged with them a little bit, at least. I felt like I could be myself around them, and we actually like understood each other, and I didn't have to constantly prove myself to them. And my confidence level definitely went up a little bit because of that. Like I felt like I could finally just be myself and have fun and do the things that I wanted to do. But then also at the same time, I definitely was kind of just going with the flow because I wanted them to think I was cool a little bit because they were a year older than me. I was in 7th grade, they were in 8th grade, and I definitely was doing some things that I maybe deep down didn't want to do, but just was doing because they were doing them, if you know what I mean. Like just not living out my true potential. Like I was living out a fake potential of mine. With that being said though, they were really great friends, and I really appreciate all of the times that we had together. And if any of them are watching this, my little middle school friends, I literally still love you guys. I will love you guys forever, and I appreciate literally everything that you ever did for me. But we have since unfortunately grown apart. You know, that's just part of life. You guys really helped me out because I had nobody going into middle school, like no friends or anything, because like I said, I lost those elementary school friends. So going into middle school, I really had nobody, and these people took me in, and we had some great times together. And then we have high school, which is where the most dramatic changes probably occurred. At the beginning of high school is when my YouTube channel was first kind of taking off. It was like this summer between 8th grade and my freshman year that I really started blowing up. I had like my Visco Girl videos, I had breaking my school's dress code, I had just like a bunch of videos pop off, and my channel was really growing when I started my freshman year. And this meant a lot of people starting to like notice me, and I was gaining a lot of attention from people that I didn't even know, and it really, really, really made me uncomfortable. People were constantly making fun of me too, which was a huge diminishing factor in my self-confidence. Freshman year was like the least confident I had ever been in myself. I was so proud of myself. Like when I was just alone by myself, I was so proud of myself and the progress I was making on YouTube and stuff like that. But then in public, like people were making fun of me, and looking back on it, it's because they didn't understand, or they were jealous, or they just like thought it was some like weird phase or something. But I let that get to me so much, and it completely ruined my confidence, because like I just cared so much about what other people thought, and so many people were judging me and like talking crap about me and just like pointing, laughing, making jokes, and it really, really, really got to me. I just knew a lot of people had like preconceived ideas of who I was, because like they might have gone on and watched like one YouTube video, but just because you watch one of my YouTube videos does not you know who I am as a person. You know what I mean? So that really affected me, because I have always cared about what people think of me, and I hate when people think negatively of me, because especially like now, I try so hard to be such a selfless person, and I'm so eager to leave people better than I found them, if that makes sense. Like I want every interaction I have with people to be a good one. I want people to see me as a good person, because that is something I care so deeply about. So this pretty much led to me just, keeping my head down when I was walking in the hallways, not making eye contact with people at school. Like I was just like hiding. Like I was hiding from people. Like I did not want people to see me, because as soon as people would see me, they would like, their eyes would shoot up and they would be like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you completely understand if you're listening to this, but like, it was really, really weird for me and really hard to adjust to, because nobody knew who I was one year, and then the next year, so many people knew who I was because of what I was doing online. So in the beginning of high school, I was definitely not confident at all. I was literally like ashamed of who I was, but then at the same time, like I loved who I was. Like I knew deep down that I was a great person and that I was doing great things, but like I couldn't let that like show in public, because I was ashamed, because people were making fun of me. If we're talking today, I still struggle with my confidence. I'm not going to say that I'm just 100% of the time super confident and just like love myself and just whatever, but like for the most part, I am pretty confident in who I am, because I know I'm a good person, and I know that I've worked incredibly hard for everything that I have, and I'm no longer ashamed. Like if people don't understand it, if they don't get it, they don't get it. But like if you get it, you get it. You know what I mean? So I'm proud of who I am and what I've accomplished over the years, and I try to let that be my main focus and my main like priority, because if I believe that I'm a good person and I believe that I'm good enough and that I am doing well and am meaning well, then that's really all that matters at the end of the day. So that's kind of my little journey on how I have been over the years. I don't really know. Basically, moral of the story is, for the most part, I have always just kind of gone along with what everybody was doing, what everybody else was wearing. I was buying stuff because I thought other people would think it was cool. Like I really wasn't living out who I truly am. And now I can say that I definitely am living my life for me and not for other people. So let's talk about the steps that I took to get here. So the first step or tip that I have to becoming confident with yourself is to keep promises to others and to yourself. And this is kind of like a weird thing to understand or like take in, because it's like, what? Like keep promises? What do you mean? But like if you tell yourself that you're going to wake up every morning at 6 a.m., do it. Do not break those promises to yourself, because when you follow through with things that you're going to do, you become so powerful. If you say that you're going to go work out 2 times a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, do it. Do not break those promises to yourself. And if you make promises to your friends and your family, do not break those promises, because you keeping promises and you following through with your word literally makes you such a powerful, good person. I don't know if this is like coming out the right way. I don't know. The next one's better. Remove negativity, both online and offline. I want you to revamp your social circle. I want you to Find people that really inspire you, that support you, that love you. I don't want you surrounding yourself with people like I was in elementary school, where I was just friends with them because I wanted to be cool, where I was just friends with them because I wanted to have friends. I let the fear of not having friends get in my way of truly finding people that were like the right fit for me at that point in my life. You can't expect yourself to be confident in who you are if you are surrounding yourself with people that don't make you feel confident. You should be surrounding yourself with friends that are constantly hyping you up and getting more excited than you are for your accomplishments. If your friends aren't cheering you on, if your family isn't cheering you on, like that is not okay. You need to have a solid group of people in your life that actually genuinely care about you. And if you've been lying to yourself, being like, oh, like I love my friends, like my friends love me, like do they really? Do you really love them? Like, are you really with the best people that you could be? Rethink that. So that's like the friendship side of things. Like, please surround yourself with people that make you feel good. But then also going with that, like the online part of that, do not follow people on social media that don't make you feel good. Like, please don't. That is like one of my biggest tips in all of this. If there is a girl and every time she comes up on your TikTok feed or your Instagram feed, you look at her, you compare yourself to her, and it makes you feel like crap about yourself, unfollow her. There is no reason to be following her. I encourage you to follow people that make you feel good about yourself. Follow people that have similar body types to you, similar hair types, similar skin tones, they're the same race as you. Follow people that look like you so that you can see an accurate representation of someone like you being confident in themselves. Do not compare yourself to people that look nothing like you. Don't compare yourself to somebody that's a completely different race than you. Like, it isn't fair to you to be doing that. You know what I mean? So I really encourage you, follow people that make you feel good. Tip number 3 is to focus on yourself. Prioritize your mental and your physical health and the things that you like doing. So with this, I need you to take a step back, evaluate your life, and figure out, what do you like doing? What are your hobbies? What are things that fill your cup, quote unquote? What are things that you do that put a smile on your face? Is that listening to music? Oh my gosh, I should not have a podcast. Is that listening to music? Is that going for a run? Is that working out? Is that painting? Is that drawing? Is that reading? Is it putting on cute clothes, doing your makeup? Whatever makes you feel good, do as much of that as possible and stop doing things that you don't like doing. Your mental health and your physical health are so important in how you feel about yourself. Like, if you aren't doing good mentally, of course you're going to feel like about yourself. Like, you are going to feel like you can't do anything if you are really not doing well mentally. So you need to find things that help you mentally and that make you happy. And then going with that, obviously physical health is so important. I'm not going to tell you to like get on a diet and start working out 6 days a week and you're going to feel better, but I'm just saying, like, eat healthy because it makes you feel good. Work out because it makes you feel good. Like, really focus on things that just make your mind and your body and your soul and your heart feel good, because you deserve that. And it's going to make you so much more secure with yourself in return. Number 4 is positive affirmations. Should I start doing ASMR? I kind of like this. No, my throat's kind of dry. I'm going to drink some coffee. Oh my God, did you hear that? That was crazy. I put the mic like up to my swallowing muscles, my throat. What the fuck? I put the mic up to my throat, my swallowing muscles. That's crazy. Okay, positive affirmations. Positive affirmations hold so much power. I don't want you to think it's some voodoo, crazy, like TikTok, weird, like witchcraft stuff. Like, positive affirmations really do work. The words that you say to yourself and you think to yourself are by far so much more important than the words that other people say to you. And I will tell you this now, and I will tell you this 1,000 times over again. I used to think that positive affirmations were a little bit like bullshit, to be honest, because I was like, okay, me waking up and looking in the mirror and telling myself that I'm beautiful 3 times in a row, what is that going to do? I still think that I look like ugly shit. Ugly shit. I couldn't figure out if I was going to say ugly or shit, like look like shit or am ugly. Whatever. I just thought it was bullshit. So anywho, I started doing it anyways, and I started telling myself that I'm proud of myself. I started telling myself that I look good. I started telling myself that I'm confident and that I can do anything that I set my mind to, and that good things are coming and the universe is always blessing me. And girl, let me tell you, these have been the best couple of months that I've had in a while. I started doing this and I truly think it's making a difference. So positive affirmations, even if you're not going to sit there and like light a incense burner thingy and you're going to like cleanse your room and like say these affirmations at the same time, like you don't have to do all that, but just like talk to yourself kindly. If you catch yourself talking negatively to yourself or thinking negatively to yourself, try to shut it down as soon as possible. And I know we all have negative thoughts and we all think like bad things about ourselves sometimes, but just try to shut it down and replace it with positive thoughts right away. Even if you don't truly feel that way, like, oh my God, my stomach is looking a little bloated today. Catch that thought and be like, okay, my stomach looks great today. Even if you don't believe it, just try to switch your way of thinking, because like sooner or later, those thoughts are going to be the first thought. Like the positive thought is going to be the first thought that comes to your head instead of the negative thought. You just gotta fake it till you make it, basically. Going with this, stop seeking validation from others. The only validation that you need is yourself. You are the only person that needs to be proud of yourself. You are the only person that truly needs to think that you are a good person, because at the end of the day, it does not matter what other people think. It really doesn't. And I know everybody says this and it's really hard to get through our noggins, but like you are the only person that truly, truly, truly matters when it comes to like how you feel about yourself. So stop seeking validation from other people. Stop seeking validation from boys, from your parents. Like truly just try to make yourself happy with yourself. Because once you do that, once you're able to do that, you will see tremendous changes in your life. The next tip is self-care. And I'm not really talking about like putting on a face mask, like lighting a candle and reading a book. I mean, if that makes you feel good, hell yeah. You guys, if you watch my YouTube videos, you know that I do self-care days, self-care nights all the time. And I do all of those like fun little activities, like pampering myself. But that isn't only what self-care is. Self-care is setting boundaries for yourself. Self-care is going to bed early. Self-care is setting a routine for yourself. Doing things that just improve your overall like quality of life. That is what self-care is. It isn't painting your nails and plucking your eyebrows. It is literally just doing stuff that makes you happy so that you can live a better life. Number 6 is be better than you were yesterday. Stop comparing yourself to other people and compare yourself to who you were yesterday. But also at the same time, every single day, your best is going to look different. My best today might look completely different than my best tomorrow. I can simply get out of bed tomorrow and that might be my best. You know what I mean? But today I'm getting a bunch of work done. I'm filming this podcast episode. I'm being very productive and this is my best. But tomorrow I might not even be able to get out of bed and that's my best. So don't be too hard on yourself when it comes to comparing yourself to your past self, but also like that's really the only person you should be comparing yourself to. Going with that, just be kind to people, uplift people, kind of what I said earlier, like leave people better than you found them. Try to bring some positive like effect into people's lives. Like try to be a positive light. Try to be like a good energy for people. You know what I mean? As long as you're doing that, you should already be so proud of yourself and so confident with yourself, because I mean, not a lot of people are truly good people. And if you can commend yourself on actually being a good person, that is really all you need to be like, wow, I'm good how I am. The last one I have for you is not really a tip, but it's more of something I want you to hear. I want you to turn your listening ears on. I need you to turn your volume up. I need you to really focus into what I'm about to say. Life is so short. You could literally die tomorrow. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to get morbid here, but you could literally die tomorrow. And do you want to spend 24 hours of your day thinking about the way that you look and the way that you act and the way that you dress and the way that you are around other people? No. You want to have fun. You want to do the things that you love. You want to make good memories. You want to laugh. You want to smile. You want to fucking piss your pants. No, you don't. I don't know why I said that. What the hell? Like sometimes I just say random stuff. Makes no sense. But like, moral of my point. That's not a phrase. Moral of the story. Point is, do things that make you happy, because life is so short. You know, YOLO. Everything that we love could be gone tomorrow. So take advantage of every single day and don't let stupid little thoughts that you have about yourself or preconceived notions of you decide how you're going to live your life, because you deserve so much more than that. I'm telling you, if you are listening to this, you are clearly a pretty awesome person, because I'm pretty awesome. everybody deserves to do things that make them happy. You know what I mean? And once you start doing things that make you happy and filling your heart up with love and joy, you'll be more confident in return. Honestly, you guys, that is all that I have written on my little outline here. And I kind of feel bad because this was kind of a short episode, I feel like. But what can yeah. I'm going to go on to the Things Could Be Worse pod Instagram account. If you guys aren't following Things Could Be Worse pod, please go follow Things Could Be Worse pod because I post stuff on there all the time. I actually don't. But this is only my second episode. Like, the podcast just came out a few days ago from when I'm recording this. So I plan on posting a lot more on here. And I also ask you guys questions, and you guys can submit questions or like topic ideas and stuff like that. So definitely go follow the podcast. But I'm going to post on my Instagram story right now to ask me questions regarding confidence and, you know, security with yourself and stuff like that. Okay, you guys, I'm back. Sorry if you're watching the visual version and the camera angle changed at all. I don't think it did. I don't think I hit it at all. But I had to turn the recording off so that I could wait for some of these responses to flood in on the Things Could Be Worse pod Instagram account. But I do have a few questions here, and I'm going to go ahead and answer them to end off the podcast because I feel like this episode was way too short. I want to try to make all of these episodes around 40 minutes long. I think I've been recording for like almost, I don't even know how long I've been recording for. But anywho, I think I'm going to answer this one. Thoughts on social media affecting young kids' confidence. I kind of touched on this in the beginning, to be honest, with my friend's little sister. And I don't want to like talk too much about that particular situation just because I feel like that isn't something I should share online. Like, she's a little girl. But I will say a few things because I feel so passionately about this because it's so freaking sad in my opinion. First of all, I'm not giving my child a phone or access to social media until they are able to understand what realistic like standards look like. You know what I mean? Because when you're 7 years old, you have no idea. I mean, even me now, like people my age, like and older, people don't know what's real and what's fake on social media. And I have a super fortunate like position where I can see like how fake social media is, and I can see how edited certain pictures are. Like, I know that most of what's on social media is fake, and not everybody knows that. And especially a 7-year-old does not know that. They don't understand how Photoshop works. They don't understand any of that. So they should not be able to access it because they're going to see these things and they're going to think, oh my God, that's real. Like, she looks like that. I don't look like that. Now I'm insecure and I'm 7 years old. And that's not fair. So I'm not giving my kid a phone until they're 25. No, I just think it's really sad. And I really, really don't think that people under the age of like 12 should have any social media. And that kind of contradicts my own life because I started YouTube when I was like 10 years old. But I wish I wouldn't have. I wish that I didn't have access to social media until I was a little bit older, because I was 10 years old and I was posting YouTube videos and people were commenting on the way that I look. And that is totally not okay. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how I did that, to be honest. But I think it's really, really sad, and I don't really know how we can change that besides just like I don't know, to be honest. I feel so bad for young girls, especially. I mean, young everybody, but I feel like it affects like young girls the most. I think we just need more relatable, realistic people on social media that really show like the negative side of their lives. Cause I feel like I do a good job. I mean, not really so much on like my Instagram, cause like my Instagram is just pictures, but on like my TikTok and my YouTube, and especially on here and like what's going to be coming on here, I try to share with you guys the things that are great in my life. But then at the same time, I feel obligated to show you guys when I'm upset, crying in my room and having like a really hard time mentally, because that's what's realistic. And I don't ever want to put out this notion, is that the right word? I don't want to ever put out this fake image that I'm just perfect all the time and I look great all the time and I am confident all the time and I am always having good hair days and good just days in general, because that's not fair to people watching me. I always try to be very realistic with my vlogs and stuff, because I feel like I need to be, because it's not fair. It's not fair that so many people are lying on social media and only showing the good parts. And I get it. It's really scary to post the bad parts on social media, but also like it helps so many people. And I'm so grateful that so many people have like reached out and expressed their gratitude for me doing that type of thing. I don't even know if that answers the question at all. I don't even think it's a question. I just think that it's really, really sad that young people, I mean, people in general, but especially like young people are being so affected by the stuff that's posted on social media, and how that affects their confidence and how that's going to affect them in the long run. So I think it's really sad. A lot of these questions are regarding like self-image and like insecurities with your body and stuff like that. And I didn't really touch on that in this episode. I'm definitely going to do a whole episode dedicated to like confidence in your body and just loving yourself and your body. But I will answer this question. It says, even when you are comfortable in your body, how do you stop comparing yourself to others? This is a $1 million question. How to stop comparing yourself to others. There is no definitive answer because it's going to look different for everybody. And I can sit here and I can say, don't compare yourself to people, like just be yourself, be whatever. But like, I still compare myself to people every single freaking day. It isn't really something that you can escape, but it's something that you can stop resisting. And that makes no sense. But what I mean by that is when you catch yourself comparing yourself to people, try to make it a positive experience. You know what I mean? Like try to look at their bodies and be able to admire their bodies and their faces and their hair and their makeup and their outfits. Try to be able to admire them without putting yourself down. Be like, they look freaking amazing. Their body, they are slaying the game. But also, on the other hand, I don't look like that, but that's okay because I can slay the game in my own way. And I know it's really hard. But that's something that I've kind of been learning to do. Like, just because somebody else looks good doesn't mean that you don't look good. You guys look good in completely different ways. You know what I mean? A lot of these questions are regarding stuff that I kind of feel like I've already answered. One says how to be confident with no makeup on. And again, this kind of like definitely revolves around like self-image. And I kind of was trying not to talk about that in this episode, but I will answer it just because Lexi asked, how to be confident with no makeup. I definitely have gone in and out of phases where I have been super confident in myself with no makeup on. And then there's other phases where I feel like I can't leave the house without makeup on. And I feel like a big part of that is the wintertime. Like in the wintertime, I just feel so ugly because I'm so pale. And then in the summertime, I could wear no makeup for like 3 weeks straight and still feel so beautiful. But I would say doing stuff that makes you uncomfortable is the only way to get over that uncomfortable feeling. So if you really, really, really struggle with not being able to go out of the house without makeup on, and you really feel like you only are confident with makeup on and you only feel pretty when you have makeup on, I encourage you to start leaving the house with no makeup on. I encourage you to stop wearing makeup so much. Obviously, like wear makeup if you want to. Like if that's what makes you happy and that's what makes you confident, you can do it. But it's also really important to be confident in yourself without makeup on. So I would say stop wearing makeup as much as possible and go out to the grocery store, go to the mall, go to school. Like just do stuff with no makeup on because I mean, it's just an uncomfortability thing. Like you can get used to anything. So all you need to do is keep doing it, even if it sucks, even if it makes you feel like shit about yourself for a little bit, just keep doing it because eventually you're going to start getting a lot more comfortable with the way that you look with no makeup on. And in return, you're going to be more confident with no makeup on. Somebody commented something that hits really, really close to home. Somebody said, being insecure of my nose and not being able to change it. I can say through and through, the biggest insecurity that I've ever had and that I still have to this day is my nose. I was blessed. Not blessed at all. I was unfortunately given a very crooked septum. I have a pretty crooked nose that nobody else can notice unless I point it out to them, which means it really isn't that severe. And I'm totally in my head about it constantly for no reason. But I have a crooked septum, which means my nose is crooked and it leans slightly to the right. I look at pictures of myself and it is the only thing I see. when I'm editing this podcast in like the visual version, I'm only going to be staring at my nose the entire time because I am so insecure about it. And I mean, I could go get a nose job and change it, and hopefully someday I will be able to, because it's going to make me more confident, but I'm trying to just learn to be okay with it, like for now. And it's been a struggle because I do feel so deeply insecure about it, and I really don't know how to, like, I don't know what advice to give besides the fact that you just need to realize that this is the only body, the only face, the only heart, the only soul you are ever going to get. And if you spend your whole life hating it, you're just making yourself miserable. You just got to accept these things. You just got to look at yourself and be like, okay, this is really bad advice, I feel like, because I mean, easier said than done, bitch. But like, for real, this is the only body you're ever gonna have. This is the only nose you're ever gonna have, unless you go to Dr. Miami, which I hopefully will. I'm just saying, this is the only face I'll ever have. So you might as well love it. You might as well appreciate it. Otherwise, you're wasting it. Somebody else could have it and they would appreciate it way more than you. Like, other people look at you and they are like, you are so beautiful. And you don't even realize that. Your face is so unique, and the only thing that you have is your uniqueness. You know what I mean? Like, the only thing any of us have is the fact that we are unique from other people, and nobody else looks exactly like us. So I want you to take that as you will. Literally none of that made sense. I don't even know if it was English, but basically you just got to realize that this is what we're all stuck with, and you can either hate it or you can love it. And loving it is a lot more enjoyable than hating it. Somebody said, how do you not let the things boys say to you not get to you and destroy you? So boys are stupid. They literally are imbeciles. I don't even know what that word means, but it sounds correct. Boys are literally stupid, and if you live your life trying to seek validation from them, you are never going to be happy, because boys are weird. They're mean. They are so judgmental. All they care about is getting a little bit of ass in their hands. Seriously, especially in middle school and high school, all boys care about is like stupid. Nobody has their head screwed on the right way. Until they're like 30 years old, I think that they're all not good for the most part. I'm saying this as I'm like madly in love with my boyfriend and I think he's the most amazing person ever. No, there are some good boys, I will say that. But a lot of them are just stupid, and you cannot let what they say or think, or you cannot let them have any control over your emotions, because you are going to spend your whole life miserable, because boys are always going to be boys. And I hate that phrase because people use it in such a bad way and just say that like boys can be boys so they can get away with whatever they want. Boys can't get away with it. So if boys are being mean to you, if boys are talking about the way that you look, I don't care who they are. I don't care if it's Mr. Quarterback. I don't care. Stick up for yourself and tell them that they're ugly and they're pieces of shit, okay? Period. I feel like I'm giving really bad advice, and I feel like that's probably a sign that I should stop recording this episode. But let's do one more question. Okay, the final question I'm going to answer is how to work up the confidence to talk to a boy. I know I literally just said I hate boys and that they're all stupid, but in all honesty, I do relate to you. Talking to boys is scary. Making any like first move, whether it's romantic or just like literally talking to them before they talk to you, is really scary. And that's because boys are intimidating and they're mean and they are judgmental. But all I gotta say is, again, life is so short. Nobody is gonna remember, like, unless you make like a crazy lasting impression or you guys like end up becoming friends. If it goes terribly wrong, he's not gonna remember that. And also, boys have like 3 thoughts floating in their brain at any given time. Like, they are actually clueless and stupid. And I'm not even trying to like diminish boys right now, because I know like everybody gets pissed, like, oh my God, we hate men, like we need to support men. But like, no, because they're stupid. I promise you, boys are not thinking too much about the way that you're talking or the way that you're speaking. They're literally staring at your tits. Okay, I literally need to stop recording this episode. No, but for real, just go talk to them. You know what I mean? Life is short. Be fun, be flirty, just like go up there and again, fake it till you make it. Just like start off, biggest tip for talking to boys, compliment them. The first thing you say is compliment them. Compliment their shoes, compliment their hair, compliment their outfit. Boys never get complimented, which is so freaking sad. And I want to compliment any boys watching this. You guys all look amazing today, and I'm sure you're great people, and I love you so much. But boys never get complimented. I mean, rarely. And if you compliment a boy, that is going to stick out immediately, and they are going to feel so loved for that little split second of time, and that's going to catch their attention. So compliment boys. Like, the first thing you're going to say if you're going to go up and talk to a boy, compliment them. Say you like their shoes. Even if they're the ugliest shoes you've ever seen, just lie to them. Lie to them. Boys are so easy to lie to and manipulate. My boyfriend listening to this like, what? No, Leo, I love you. You're the cutest little guy ever. Why? He's gonna hate that I just put that in there. He's not a little guy. I mean, he's not a big guy, but like, he's an average size guy. Why do I feel like I'm on drugs? All right, I think that I should leave, right? All right, you guys, I think that's going to be it. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Things Could Be Worse. I know it was kind of crazy and all over the place. I'm still so new to this, and I'm still navigating all of like the audio interface, like technology and stuff like that, and navigating editing this video so it's not just edited like a YouTube video, and editing the audio so it's not like super choppy. Like, I'm really working on everything, and I'm also still learning how to be comfortable in this like recording format. Like, I'm not used to this at all. So please be patient with me. I promise we're only going to go up from here. We're only going to get better, and I have so many great ideas. I'm so excited that this podcast is finally a thing. I'm having so much fun. Like, this episode was so much fun to film. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Yesterday I sat down and I tried to record this episode, and I was actually gonna talk about something completely different. I sat down, I recorded for almost 2 full hours, and I literally just couldn't speak. Like, I couldn't let anything flow. I just kept repeating myself and being like, oh my God, like so in my head. I was like, none of this sounds good. I'm not making any sense. I'm all over the place. So I just kept like re-saying things. And I'm like, this is not a YouTube video. Like, when I mess up saying something in a YouTube video, I'll just quickly re-say it and edit the bad part out. But like, a podcast isn't like that. Like, I don't just keep re-saying things until it sounds good. I just need to talk, and I just need to get comfortable with that and used to that. So work with me on this, stick around. I am going to get better. But again, thank you so much for listening. Please, if you're feeling generous, go rate the podcast 5 stars. I'm just starting out, and that I heard really, really helps my podcast get pushed out. So if you enjoyed this episode, please go rate the Things Could Be Worse podcast 5 stars on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Subscribe on YouTube. Turn on those post noties if you like watching visually. I think that the visual version's pretty fun, but I completely understand that some people don't have an hour to sit and watch like a quote unquote YouTube video. So wherever you're watching or listening, I love you. Okay? I love you so much. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Oh, go follow the TikTok and the Instagram too. Things Could Be Worse pod, and give me all types of episode ideas, topic ideas, things you want me to talk about, because I really want this to like cater to you guys. Like, I don't want to just talk about things that I want to talk about if you don't want to hear about them. So tell me what you want to hear about, and I will gladly try to talk about them. Okay? I love you. Goodbye.